Welcome to the Ignite You podcast.
We're two bros journey into all things spirituality and human transformation.
Let's get it. Cheers.
Cheers.
What up, beautiful human? Welcome to another episode of the Ignite You podcast. My name is Cam McDougall.
I'm Ryan Miller.
And today we are going to drop into evening routines and rituals. So Ryan and I were very inspired to give you all a bunch of tools to help with the morning, to help with the afternoon, to help with the evening, because in order to ignite the human soul, we got to be dialed into our practices. So it's a 3-part series. This is the third part of the series. We're going to have the links to the afternoon tools and the morning practice in this video as well. So check them out. We want to support you throughout the course of your day. So Ryan came up with a super good, I don't know if it's an acronym, but saying 3 different words to help you ground in your evening. So Ryan, why don't you kick us off?
So we got 3 C's to bring us into a wind down routine, to bring us into our sleep, I'm not going to say one of the C's. So the C's are calm, clear, connect. With these C's, we're getting you dropped in to a routine. As we've talked about before, there are many different ways to explore evening routines. There's many different ways to explore any practice, but we're giving you a pathway to use these tools. We want you to be able to access and have something that's applicable from these episodes to drop into this evening, potentially.
Beautiful. So the first one is calming the system. I think a lot of people who are on the path, who are ambitious, who are bringing their dreams to life can get a little fragmented. I know that I know I can get really wired. I know I can get somewhat anxious. So it's very important that I first calm my system down. My favorite way to trigger my evening routine is to first turn off my phone, get rid of all the notifications, nothing's going down, airplane mode, fully out of reach of all humans. Once that's done, I turn down the lights, I put on some sort of soothing meditation music, usually nature sounds, something on my speaker that just really brings the vibe down. And if you have a dimmer, dim the lights down to very orange, almost dark. Or Ryan, I know you're a huge fan of lighting a bunch of candles, which I'm now a fan of as well. But really bringing down the energy and calming the system.
Yes, the lighting is very important here. A lot of what Cam just said is having to do with lighting. Yeah, it has to do with the phone, but the blue light on the phone is one of the biggest blocks we have to secreting melatonin. The light is so important because our circadian rhythms are built around light. So when we can dim that, when we can create a space and an environment that feels calm in the light, we can create that reality inside of us. And it feels good. It feels nice.
And I don't know if you heard this as well, but I heard that we used to sleep next to the fire. So our systems became very attuned to sleeping next to red light, sleeping next to orange light, because we had to sleep next to fires for protection, that it's actually a very calming way to trigger a good sleep.
Yeah, definitely. That's why we love the candles. We love a good candle.
100%. If you have a fireplace, light the fire.
Light the fire.
Absolutely.
Light that fire. Stay lit. That's what we mean when we say stay lit.
Just light the fire in your evening routines. Second C, clear. Very important. I find this super practical as well because I'm always thinking about shit. What happened today? What's going to happen tomorrow?
Yeah.
What about this? What about that? It's really powerful to take some time to actually clear the mind, clear the state.
This is important because these practices aren't just to dial in your evening, it's to make sure your sleep is as optimized as it can be. You're getting that deep sleep, you're getting that quality rest. And with this clear side of things, you're actually allowing yourself to check in from the day and then start thinking about, okay, these are the things I have to do tomorrow. And with clear, we start talking about the things we can write down. So the things we like to write down are reflecting on the day and then checking in with what however you want to write this out, the top 3 things I need to get done tomorrow. Because it's so often when we're going to sleep that these things kind of just run in our minds. Like, oh, I need to do that. I need to call that person. I need to do that thing. Blah, 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 blah. Just keeps going. And that keeps us up. But this way it just gets out of the mind onto the paper. We know we can take care of that tomorrow. It's also a sign for the body to say, okay, I've put that there. I will check in on that in the morning. I will take care of that tomorrow. I can let that go now.
So for me, my favorite things to do here are write down one thing I learned from the day, one thing I like to celebrate from the day, and any ways that I fell from grace, any ways that didn't feel like I acted from my highest self, brings awareness to my actions, to my being. We talk about this a lot. And then I really like to do my to-do list for the next day and set an intention for the next day. And if I have my to-do list laid out with my flow blocks and all these good things, then I know exactly what I have to do the following day, and I'm able to just hit the pillow and be like, it's all taken care of, it's all planned, everything's good, I can just focus on sleep.
Yes. And again, people, the lighting is low here. We're connected to this. This isn't a highly analytical process. This is us just connecting to that space. This is us just clearing that space and getting it off, checking in from the day, and then looking at the following day, which I said the word for the final C there, and that is to connect.
Connecting using some form of meditation, using some form of very calming breathing, using something to just connect you to your body, to yourself, to your energy, to maybe the intention you're setting for the next day, whatever that is.
Yeah, and it could even look like connecting into what you want to create in that dream world. I know this is something I like to do. I'll sometimes go through a body scan if I notice the mind running. It's just easy to just, scan the body, notice sensation. It's a meditation, right? Just check in. And thinking about how you want to explore that dream realm. This is something I like to do. And that could be a word. That could be like love, beautiful, and just connect to that. Awesome. It could be a feeling. And then it could potentially show up in that dream space, which is fun. That's like another version. That's just something I'll add in there. But it is fun to think about that experience you're feeling and want to create there, because that's you connecting to that and going into that sleep.
Beautiful. I love that so much. And this is really important, crew. I think a lot of people focus on the morning routines. They're very popular. Most people on the path have some form of morning routine. Even making cacao or making your coffee or whatever can be seen as a morning routine if you're present and intentional with it. A lot of people neglect the evening routine. And I know that as an entrepreneur, it was so easy for me to go from working to maybe watching some Netflix to then like maybe checking my phone to see if anything happened and then going right to sleep.
Yeah.
And if you get into that habit of looking at your phone and going to sleep, you're not giving yourself the space to wind down. And the wind down is so important. And I've had so many clients in the past that have said that their sleep is so interrupted. And the first thing I ask is, what do you do right before bed? And so often I hear, oh, I watch YouTube, or I'm scrolling Instagram, or I'm checking emails, or anything along those lines. And if that's what you're doing right before your head hits the pillow, you're not giving yourself time to shut down and chill. So one invitation that we'd like to give you in this space is to give yourself some form of curfew that acts as a trigger. So for me, my curfew is 8 o'clock for my tech. Tech is off at 8 o'clock. I'm on airplane mode. Everything's off. The lights go down. I'm in my wind down. That's how I like to roll, because that generally gives me from about 8 until 10 o'clock where I go into bed, and then I get a beautiful restful sleep. If my wind down doesn't take 2 hours, I'll read a book. I'll hang out with my partner. We'll have some sex. These are beautiful ways to actually spend more time connecting and getting more intimate with our people. And it's a very, very good way to bring the system down and just to give yourself the space to really enter a restful sleep, because what you're doing when you sleep is directly correlated to what you do before you sleep.
Yes.
So important.
You're training that system to go straight into sleep. You're already starting the process, and then it starts becoming triggers for you to go into bed. As soon as you turn that phone into airplane mode, as soon as you dim those lights, you start getting tired. Melatonin starts secreting. I know for me, as soon as I put on my blue blockers, instantly I start feeling like, oh, I'm going into that state. It's just triggers for the body. So these could potentially be those triggers for you, and start supporting deep, restful sleep. and stop training that distractibility and reactability that we have so often in our day. We get to take that out of our evening practice, and you get to prioritize yourself and take that time for you.
So we're going to add a little tool here, which is a 15-minute wind down practice,
Yes.
which we've also used in some of our challenges before, which helps you just take a moment to reflect on the day, take a moment to do some deep breaths, and ultimately take a moment to go into alpha brainwaves with the binaural beats that we use. We're both big fans of binaural beats. So I'll add this tool to the notes below. We'll upload it to YouTube so that you can use it. So start somewhere small. If 2 hours of idle time before you go to sleep sounds like absolute hell, don't start there. What we like to say is start with maybe 15 minutes. Once you've done 15 minutes, try 30. Once you've gotten used to 30, try 45. Once you've gotten used to that, keep pushing it out. I guarantee you that the moment you start doing this, the moment you start leaning in, your sleep's going to go through the roof, improving so dramatically, and you're going to become addicted to protecting your evening as much as you are sparking your morning. Very important stuff.
Boom. That's it.
That's it. This is a quick episode because really we don't got to go into the theory very much. These are straight facts, easy tools. Remember, we calm, we clear, we connect, and start building in a time frame that gives you that curfew.
Exactly. Let us know how it goes. Per usual, we want to hear about your experiences, your blocks around this, the things that feel good about this, what's coming up when you hear this episode and us talk about these tools. Give us your insights and let us know, because we want to celebrate you as well for showing up for these things, because we fucking love it. We nerd out about it. So that is all. As always,
Stay lit. Says it right here on the shirt.
Yeah, if you can. Here it says it.
Ciao.